Good afternoon, Jason here, Birchfield Family Farm, Oxford, Ohio. Another beautiful day. We cooled off a little bit. We had quite a bit of rain, getting quite a bit of moisture moving through lately, and just mid to high 60s today. A lot of that humidity is gone. We've been very, very humid for, seems like the month of May. Hey, I have a poem for you today. This is called In Darkness. After winter has finished stealing the summer sun, having had its way over false-bred compost and manure, crisp black earth emerges, whispering, I am now ready to give. Come and plant your seeds of faith. When you sleep, they will grow. When you hunger, they will feed. When you are lonely, they will bring others. But always keep before you, each year it must begin, from the cold, hard darkness of winter's deathly still. Tried a no-till, animal-only approach to the garden this year, and I don't know, jury's still out. I'm going to show you how we got this prepared this year and then what we've done. We've got a few things planted, a lot more to go, but it was a combination of sheep work and chicken work, and we'll take you through that process that we did and then what we have put down to hopefully eliminate the weeds this year. If you till your garden soil, rest assured we can still be friends. This was us here back in 2018, Sawyers on the shoulders, out getting it done. This is how I grew up. It's what I'm used to. You till the garden at the start of the season, right? And then whenever you need a clean spot, you're out there with the tiller. But the more I read, the more I really want to move away from soil disturbance and minimize that. Not to mention gas prices, really trying to limit our fuel usage around the farm. So how did we do this? How did we do this without a tiller? Well, this is us here back in October 2021, and we put the rams on the garden. You can see the garden is completely overgrown. It's been taken over. We had the idea, let's use some electronet and let's get the rams out on this and get this stuff eaten down. That was pretty much step number one. And then we move over to step number two here. This spring. We had hayed the rams out on the garden, and you can see that excess hay down. It's been soaked up with the lots of rain, lots of moisture in the spring here. But the main concern were all those weed seeds. And you can see the chickens here in the chicken tractor. They would spend one day on each spot in the garden. We'd leave them for 24 hours. And they're disturbing that top layer. You can see behind the tractor here where they've been. It's just like mulch. I mean, they've shredded up that hay. They've picked out a lot of those seeds. Certainly not all of them, but they've manured and scratched through this stuff and just really left these beautiful spots behind the chicken tractor. I will say this: working a garden with animals, it takes more planning. It takes longer, than if we just compare this to a tiller or some kind of gas-powered implement. It takes much longer. It takes much more planning. But you can see this is, we've had them through most of the garden here. And now I think I do a shot here of this, what's on the surface. I mean, look at this. Just look at how loose that is. And that's from the chickens. And pulling them around every day, you can see all the thistle around the tractor. That's where we haven't been to yet. And then check this out behind here, of course, over to the left here, that they have not been on that yet. But right where they were the previous day, you can see, just completely clear. So this is about 50 laying hens in here doing this. I was really, really happy with these results. And then once the chickens had been over the entire garden, we opted to go with the black plastic this year. I have mixed feelings on this stuff so far. I'll give you some more details here. Yeah, I really have this sense already, just even this far into it. See the beans coming up here. Oh yeah, it's going to be a love-hate relationship with this stuff. I do think we had the section blow up here, and I did notice no weeds, so it is going to do the trick on the weeds, keeping those at bay. However, you know, it was August or September when the garden would get out of control, and we would just put the rams in on it. So, and I don't feel like we sacrificed that much yield when the weeds start to come up. We've seen green beans yield just as much, if not more, on rows that were not weeded versus rows that were. Now that was in a dry season. You could argue that the weeds were keeping moisture in. I don't know. But nonetheless, it is nice to have a weed-free garden. I will say tons of work up front to do this. And if you want to keep your sanity or your marriage intact, I would not recommend even attempting this in any kind of wind, especially if you've got any amount of like large sections to do or whatnot. The wind hits this and it's like a parachute. Of course, our sections are 6 foot wide. I think we ordered the 6 foot wide by maybe 300 foot long rolls. It took us right on about 2 rolls, 300 foot rolls. So I don't know. We'll see how this stuff yields. If it yields well, and it does keep the weeds down and it stays down, it doesn't blow up, and we kind of get a system down here, I could see us warming up to this stuff, and it will be multi-year use. You see, we've got a couple rows of green beans out here. Did the holes, actually staked it all the way around. We've got 6 foot sections of this stuff. That is west, that's east, so we made sure to put the one from the east under the one from the west. You can see we got some beans coming up there. We put some chicken litter over the top there. Still have a few to push through, but doing the holes with a torch, saw that was recommended. It burns the plastic rather than so that it doesn't rip, then is the idea behind it. But down here we put in some tomatoes. This has yet to be planted, but we've got our tomatoes in. Down here she did, actually just today, she did a row of peppers. We're using grass clippings then around the holes. Several rows of tomatoes here that we started from seed. She's got a little bit of Epsom salts on there, grass packed around the holes. They're doing all right. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, this guy here is looking pretty happy. We've had quite a bit of rain though. So I don't know. We'll keep you posted on this. I really like the way we worked this, not using the tiller and just using the animals. I like that, but we did. Unfortunately, we did have a section right here that blew up the other day. We had about 30 mile per hour winds. And on this seam here, if you get anywhere that starts to come up, that wind just catches it and just rips it. And we were lucky. It did not damage the beans or the tomatoes that way. I think we've tried 2 different kinds of stakes. We've got a thinner metal stake and then a beefier stake. And it seems like the beefier ones, we've put those in. Those seem to be doing a better job. We had like over an inch of rain one night, and then heavy winds, high winds the next day, and we noticed that was the day that it ripped out. So I don't know if maybe having that much rain kind of loosens up those stakes a little bit. This is a live and learn kind of thing. So keep you posted.